My name is Colleen Magnus, and today you are finally creating with Colleen. Now, don't panic. If you are seeing this, it is Friday. I promise you it's Friday, and tomorrow is the weekend. Typically, I come to you every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time, so you can take a break in your busy day and watch me create. Well, sadly, this past Wednesday, I have been in the ring fighting with YouTube. I could not figure out how to get my orientation horizontal instead of portrait, and it would not go live horizontal. So I am technically challenged. You know, what can I say? I'm not of your younger generation, but I try. I really try. I Googled, I went to YouTube, I did all these different things, and I could not figure it out. So finally, I went to my tribe, because you know it always takes a tribe. And thank you, Amy Coenders, for giving me the answer. Here it's an advanced setting under YouTube that it's locked into vertical instead of horizontal. Now, why it changed from last week to this week, that's what blows my mind. But now that I know, oh my gosh, I just cannot wait to create with you. So again, my name is Colleen Magnus. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on the East Coast in Chesapeake, Virginia, and I have two really fun cards to show you today. I have been doing a series on our Abundant Beauty Decorative masks, which are just beautiful. And so this is part 3, finally. And today I'm going to show you 2 techniques that you can do with your masks. One is embossing, and then of course the other one is this wonderful Gilded Leafing. It's like gold leafing. You've probably bought it and haven't used it yet. It's really cool stuff. So I'm going to show you how to use it with your stencils. So again, I encourage you. There are 2 words in the English language that truly, truly are tough. They both start with a P. One is patience and the other is perseverance. And I think the only way you can actually grasp and use these 2 words and learn them is through pain, the third P. So anyways, thankfully I'm a very patient person. That one, I won't say he won't test me sometimes, but that one I'm in pretty good shape. Perseverance wears me out, but I am here. Thank you for being here. You don't know how much it means to me. So without no further ado, I'm going to turn the camera down. Let me boot up. Make sure I'm over here on the laptop so I can check comments. And we are going to create. I say, God willing and the creek don't rise. Well, Wednesday, the creek even rose. We had a high tide and we couldn't get out of the neighborhood. So here we are. We're moving forward, y'all. Hold on a second. Let me turn you around. All right. Here we go. I told myself I was not putting the things up on my table until I made this video. And honestly, I'm a little blurry. I don't know if it's my lens. Let me do that. Honestly, I'm just glad we are all here. So what I was telling you about, these are the decorative masks. Okay, let me check. Vanita, yes. So glad I got it figured out, Vanita. Thankfully, Amy was there for me with a good answer. But even when I went to do it the second time, it still wouldn't do it. And my video looks blurry, so y'all give me a shout out and let me know if I'm clear or not. You know, if not, then maybe somebody just doesn't want me to show these cards. But by golly, I want to show you. I really like them. Becky, thank you so much for being here from Kansas. Bren, glad to see me back. Bren, I am glad to be back. Thank you all, Peggy and Judith, for being so patient. You are all wonderful. So, deep breath, y'all. I always say yoga breathing, that is for life, not just exercise. Okay, so on page 47, we have the Abundant Beauty Decorative Mask. And, okay, so we have the Decorative Beauty Abundant Mask. And they are really, really nice. Stampin' Up! Has some wonderful masks. So I did the first video. And with that, I showed you 2 cards. This was using the faux torn paper technique. And then we went ahead and put some leafing in there. So we sponged some different colors. But that actually looks like torn paper. So I shared this card with you. And then I shared how to get a 2-tone blue snowflakes. So these are 2 of the stencils that we have in this kit. The other cool thing was here I showed you I needed a little center, but I didn't have any small enough. That is actually a pencil eraser. So That was fun too. Let me see. Here, these are the cards that I love with the sunflowers. And I have videos on all these. So with the sunflowers, it's a set of 4 stencils that work together. So here I did them in the blues. This one, it's just regular. Typically I don't like just a plain background, you know, softness, but with these stencils it was perfect. Here I actually embossed and gave it some texture after it was done. Then this was one in the yellows. And in the video, we actually took it a step further and we used the shimmery embossing paste that Stampin' Up! Has. So I showed you how to use your stencils. This is actually a raised, it is sparkly and a lot of fun. So do check out those previous videos if you didn't see them. Now it's going to show you the last stencil in the set, but I thought I'll just tell you about it because it's easy enough. This is just a masculine card using the houndstooth. So what I did is I just lightly sponged with some crumb cake, came in with a little bit of pecan pie to bring it a little darker on the sides, and then some Cajun craze. And this is from our masculine set. Hold on, I got it right over here. Because again, I was going to create it, but decided not to. It's pretty self-explanatory. This, I used the bundle He's All That. And if you've got a bunch of guys in your life like I do, well then this is a good set to have. So today, I want to share some other techniques with you. You can actually heat emboss with your stencils, and that's what I want to show you. So the first card for your card base, this is Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to use gold embossing powder. So with the gold embossing powder, this, I think it's going to look real pretty on this color. I did a couple others that I'll show you the samples. But here you have 5.5 by 8.5. And this is Blackberry Bliss. Then I have a piece of 5.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to cut this down to 5.5 by 2.5 when I'm done embossing it. And then I have a piece of 2 3/4 by 5.5 gold foil. So hello, Mary and Terry. I'm glad you can come on. All right, so with this, let me show you. When you emboss, I like to use what's called an embossing buddy. Now, I did drafting on the board for 10 years, and we did vellum and ink, but this is just like a little pounce pad, we call them. And the reason you want to rub it on your cardstock is that sometimes you get static, like low electricity on there, and the particles from your embossing powder can kind of scatter, and it won't stick just to the Versamark. So I wanted to do that. Now I am going to, I like to tape my pieces down. It just makes them, keeps them from slipping on me. So I'm just using a little bit of washi tape, very little corners here. And then I am going to take my stencil and lay it over. So let me do this. And again, I did it a little bit larger, so I think I'll be okay with the with it on the sides there. So let me take this down. So Bren, I hope you're having a good day. Bren has been waiting for me, and I do appreciate that, Bren. Again, it was so frustrating. I even wanted to go in the backyard and have a good cry, but at that time somebody called and I couldn't even do that. So it's just as well, because we are here today. Thanks for being with me. So when you heat emboss, you need a sticky ink, like our craft white ink works well. The Versamark is great. Versamark is a pad. It's a clear glycerin type pad, and it's actually, you could leave a watermark, which is perfect because it's just, when I do this, you'll see it when I'm done, it just darkens whatever you stamp, or you can use embossing powder and it would stick to it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take this, and I want to make sure it really gets in there. So make sure your pad's fairly juicy. And I do hold this down because it is kind of sticking to the pad, to the stencil, and it tends to want to pull it up. So let me keep going here. All right. I think that's pretty juicy. At least it sounds it. Okay. So I have my Versamark on here, And now I'm going to pull this off. Like that. So when you actually look at the Blackberry Bliss here, this is where you would let it be a watermark. And you can just let it dry. If you can see that. See how it's perfect color? Because it's light and dark. But I want to emboss it. So I'm going to take our little tray and put it in here. And then I'm going to take the embossing powder. So I've got the gold Stampin' Up! Embossing powder. And I'll just sprinkle it all over. And the nice thing about the trays is that I have a little nozzle here. So when I'm done, I pull this little piece out and I can put it all into the tray. Hey, Kathy, I'm back. I finally made it. I missed you all. And Debbie, missed you. Carla. Yeah, it was a test. It was a challenge, and I think I passed. We'll see. We'll see. I won't say that until I finish the video and everything's done. And I know it's out there. So you can see I have embossing powder on here. And because I used the embossing buddy, it really isn't sticking to the back. You know, any little strays. But if you had any strays, now would be the time to just pick them up with a little brush. Because nothing is stuck on there until you heat set it. Other than that, this one really looks pretty good. Now when I do heat emboss, I like to just get a piece of cardboard and I cover it in tin foil because it tends to reflect the heat from underneath, and it also gives my cardstock some stability when I am heating it. I got leaves everywhere. Let me see if I can find a little place where I don't to hold on to. Let me put this here. So this is just like a reverse tweezers. Squeeze it and it opens, leave it go and it closes. And now I'm ready to emboss. So when I emboss, I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to let my tool heat up just a little bit. And then some people, when they emboss, they kind of go all over. And I don't like to do that because I really like to see the gold powder change. That's the way I know it has fully heated up. So I kind of start in one area and I come across. So give me just a minute. Now when I have done things at science fairs for kids classes at the fairs, I love to show heat embossing because it's like magic. If you can see that. See how I'm just slowly going across? And once everything is a solid gold, then I know it's heated enough. Because the problem is you can actually over emboss. If I was to put too much heat on here, it would pretty much melt the gold away and turn flat. So you don't want to overheat it, and that's why I like to go completely across so I can see it change. There we go. See, that was a little piece there. Awesome. And that, my friends, is the simplest way to heat emboss. So I'm going to give that just a minute. It is set. But now, as I told you, I want to cut this down to 2.5 inches wide instead of 3.5. And actually, I'm pleased with the way this embossed all the way around. But a lot of times, the reason I do this is because I want to get a nice crisp edge. And I really want to position my leaves the way I want them. So this is 3.5. I'm going to take it to 2.5. I love those little ferns. So let me see here. 3.5. Let me go like 1/4 on each side and see what that looks like. That's my scoring blade. So I just kind of took 1/4 off. 2.5, I believe. I should have taken, I'd say a little bit more. Which way do I want to go? 2.5. I really like those little ferns. I don't want to cut them off. Here we go. We'll just do it this way. So I have 2.5. And there's my piece that I have. Now looking at this, actually, it's a little dull right there. So I'm I'm going to grab my cardboard again and just hit that, because I know that will emboss. And there we go. So what you want on this is to be nice and shiny all the way across. So with this piece, I am going to take the 2 3/4 by 5.5 gold foil, and I'm going to layer it on here. Now, if you're running low on your gold foil, y'all know you could just cut a strip and tape it on the back on each side. But I was not running low, so I'm going to put it on there and just have it on each side. Hey, Renee, I'm glad you're here today. It is Friday, y'all. Just reminding you, you have a weekend to look forward to. And I will be back next Wednesday. Can't promise there won't be technical difficulties, but I promise you I will get through it. So I'm going to put this on here. Always like to kind of put my fingers there to make sure that's nice and smooth. And then I like to turn it over and rub it. Because y'all know when you're stamping, you usually have ink on your fingers, and that's not good. So here I'm going to take the 5.5 by 8.5 Blackberry Bliss. I did score it at 4 1/4. I'm going to crease that, and now I have choices. I can put it on here like this. I could put it on here like this. Either way. Horizontal or vertical? That seems to be the question around here lately, doesn't it? I think I'm going to go horizontal, since that's what I really wanted in the first place. So let me take this. Again, I'll use my liquid glue. And put this on my folded piece of cardstock. Yes, Patty, I'm back. Oh my gosh, you just don't know. But I have to tell you, I did have an amazing day yesterday. Wednesday was very frustrating when nothing worked. Thankfully, I did have a pedicure scheduled at 5:45, and that was totally relaxing. Then I was like, oh, it's too early to go home. Let me go see my friends at the nursing home. So I went to the nursing home where my dad was at for 3 years, and I visited with a bunch of people there, and that just mended my heart. Good people, good friends that we made there. And then yesterday, oh my gosh, yesterday was awesome. I have met, all my customers are dear to me, but there are two who, Donna turned 90 yesterday, and Betty will be 99 on October 3rd. Amazing women. Let me tell you what, both still stamp. They don't drive, but hey, I think there comes a point you don't want to drive. But they are amazing. So our stamp club got together, and we went to Reginella's for lunch and surprised them. So it was really a wonderful day. So I have had some time to relax and unwind since then. So I think some of the colors that go great with Fresh Freesia, with Blackberry Bliss are Fresh Freesia and Bubble Bath. So to accent this, there are 2 leaves. These are called the Aspen Tree Dies. And this is that die that makes that wonderful oval with the trees in it. Well, there's 2 gorgeous leaves in here. And so I kind of wanted to play with that. And when I put them on, I think they're kind of flat. So I'm just going to come in here with some Fresh Freesia. And I'm just going to sponge this around the edge. I just think that always adds a lot of warmth to anything that you have. So I have this here. Let me see. Oh, yeah. And we'll do a little bubble bath one and bring some of that color in. Let me see. All right. Where do y'all see the next card I'm doing? It's a little messy, but that's okay. It's a lot of fun. So I think with this, let's see what I want to do. Let's put maybe this one here. Do I want to go flat? Let's pop it up. So I'll take my dimensionals. And I'll pop this leaf up. Again, this is Bubble Bath. So I'll put this here. Then I can take this one here. I also have a gold foil leaf. Kind of like bringing that in too. Maybe y'all think that's too much. I know it's a delayed reaction. I could do the 2. I do kind of like that. Or I could just do the 1. I think we need the 2. So for this one, what do y'all think? 1 or 2? I hope you pick 2 because that's what I'm putting on here. But I have this here. And then this I think I'll pop up. I like to have that dimension in my card. Let me see. 2, good. I'm getting some answers here. That's good. I'm going to turn this a little bit more because I do want to see that gold. And then I could put this one on the top. Oh, I like that. And then let's see if we can't find I brought in some different embellishments. I have blooming pearls. That's I could keep with the pinks. I could go with the gold, although I think I used, no, I do have the bigger golds. And then I have iridescent pearls, but I think I'm going to use the blooming pearls. And let's see if one of these, hopefully it's not too big. Ooh, I like that. Okay. So I'm not going to put any words on these cards because it just seems like lately when I'm looking for a card, it already has a sentiment on it and it's not the one I need. Now, what I would use in doing this, I think 2 great sets for the sentiments. This is called Something Fancy, and it has a lot of really great sayings in here. I also like the font. And I can say the exact same thing for the stamp set, So Sincere. And this is one that they have showing with the mask. So I'm just going to leave the words off. And then when I need them, I can pop words on here. And then I have a card for every occasion. So what I have, this here is a Blackberry Bliss. I like that. I'll ask y'all to vote. Do you like Blackberry Bliss the best? Do you like the natural colors? This here is Early Espresso with Mossy Meadow. And actually, I think that one's horizontal too. We'll go that way. Or you can always get the very regal rich look. And this, of course, is just gold and black. So let me know what you think. I'll leave them here for 1 minute for you to look at. But give a shout out. Let me know if you like the Blackberry Bliss, the Mossy Meadow, or the black and gold. So I have 3 cards ready to go right there for any sentiment. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my mask back in and we're going to get messy. This will be fun. I am going to take a little bit of this Versamark off because you can imagine it's really juicy on top and it won't dry on here, but it's also kind of nice having it because next I'm actually going to put glue. I'm actually going to put glue on here. So let me see, we have, oh, Blackberry Bliss seems to be the winner, but we do have 2 naturals and a Mossy Meadow. Very good. Well, I'm glad somebody liked at least all of them. What I'm going to use now is something I think many of us bought and we haven't used it. You kind of forgot what it was for. This is called Gilded Leafing, and we always called it like a gold leafing foil. It is a fun product. And I wanted to use it with this. I thought, well, hey, maybe we could use it on the stencils. And I think it worked pretty good. So what I'm going to do with this one, again, I told you it's messy, is since I am using a liquid glue, I'm just going to put a piece of wax paper down so that it, you know, it just doesn't like soak through my other papers that I have on my table here. I'm going to take a piece, I haven't tried, well, I haven't put a card together yet for these colors. I'll show you the one I did afterwards. But I really love Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon. When Stampin' Up! Puts your colors together, you are set. Yeah, I think the black would be great for a sympathy card too, Bren. It's beautiful. Good idea. So here I have 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. This is my Lost Lagoon. That's my card base. And then here I have 4 3/4 by 4.5 of Pretty Peacock. And I wanted to use the leaves, but also put a border on here of the leafing. So it doesn't go this way. I'm actually going this way because I'll take this down, pick my mouse up for the tape. That's not right. Here we go. I'm going to put just a small piece down on the side here to hold it. And then I thought what was cool is if I put this across like this, I'm not only going to have gold leaves, but I will have a gold trim on each side. So with that, let me just put this right there. I'm gonna take my masking tape and put it down. Let me see. Aw, thank you, Deborah. She said it was hard to choose, but she likes the natural the best. Oh, and you used gold leafing last week. Good for you. Good for you. Rainy Minnesota, Deborah. You got a good day to create again too. We're overcast here. Not too bad, but we are overcast. It's Neptune Festival this week. So that's always a lot of fun in Virginia Beach. They have an art show. They have the sand sculptures. So Danny and I are going to a marriage conference tomorrow at the church. I am hoping it'll help us meet new people and get us away from the house, because I'm finding with his retirement, he just works. And he has been a worker all his life, God bless him. And I do appreciate that. But I want to get out. I want a social life. So we are going to go there, and hopefully that'll be great. And then on Sunday, Lindsay, actually, she has been going to nursing school so much. Her and Tyler are going to go off, and we have Tyler, Joe, and Everett. So then I'm thinking we should go to the Neptune Festival. So I think we might do that. It'll be fun. Okay, so what I'm doing now, again, I'm using this Gilded Leafing. And it works when you put, it has to have a glue or an adhesive that it's going to hold the leafing. So I'm going to take, I had a damp sponge, it's dry now, but I think it'll still work just fine. And I'm going to take our craft mat, because this is easy to clean, and I'm going to put our Tombow liquid glue. It actually takes quite a bit. You wouldn't think so, but it does. Now, the first time I did this card, I did not put on gloves. And let me tell you what, I thought I was going to have gold fingers, talk about the gold finger, James Bond, for a couple days. It really was quite messy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to suit up. So I have my plastic gloves my mother gave me during COVID that I never used for anything. Figured I'd use them in the stamp room. And at least it'll keep the mess down a little bit. But what I'm going to do, and I'm also, which is tricky, I'm going to try to do this left-handed, because you get glue on here, and then when you take the old leafing, it's all sticking to your fingers. So y'all stay tuned. This will be fun. So I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to dab the liquid glue, the Tombow glue, on the stencil where I'm at. Let me see. So I want to make sure I get in all my leaves so that all the gold will stick in here. Now, when you get done with this, you are going to immediately want to clean your stencil, because Tombow liquid glue does not play around. It would be hard to get it off otherwise. And what I'm going to do, instead of running over to the sink and cleaning it, I'm just going to throw it into a tub of water, and then as soon as we're done stamping today, I'll go clean it. So I have my stencil with the glue. And you know the top and bottom that I was telling you about? I'm also going to take this and make sure I've got that really well, because I want that gold leafing to stick to the top and bottom here. Who has bought gold leafing and not used it? And who is, for them, that this is the first time you're seeing it? Let me know. Okay, so I have this on here. This is where the fun comes in. I'm going to take the gold leafing. If it was small enough and I could pick this up, I would put it in a container. But you got to be careful, because first rule of thumb is you do not open this while your ceiling fan is on. That is experience talking, y'all. It will get crazy and it just flies away. It's just so light. But the other cool thing is, it's almost like the more you use it, the more it grows. So I'm just going to put it around here. It's going to look like a hot mess. Okay, make sure you're getting it in all of the leaves, and make sure you're getting it on that border on the top. Doesn't look like much. Stick with me. It will. So I'll put this in here. But again, every time you pull some out, it's like more comes. So just make sure, cool stuff, y'all. But imagine me doing this with bare fingers. That was a trip. Okay. So I have this like this. I can now take my gloves off. Put this back. Don't sneeze either, because again, it's going everywhere. It is pretty though. I will say when it's raining gold, it is pretty. And then from here, I am going to take this off. And I have a piece that looks like that. And as I said, give me a minute. Let me throw this in my tub of water. All right. And then with this, when I take this off, I have what looks like that. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to set this aside, because before I rub anything on it, I want it to dry. If not, you can't stand the chance of smearing that glue around. Look how easy it is to clean up. Just blow. And all the gold just leaves you. So I did one ahead of time so you could see it. So this here is what I have. And really all you have to do is brush off the excess gold. So you can do that with a stipple brush. You could use a sponge. I've got a very soft, I love these, you know, my blending brushes, because it'll just pull the extra off. And when you're done, you just have all this beautiful gold foil on your piece. Okay. So that just gives you a totally different look and a way to use, and it doesn't hurt your brush at all. So now that I have this, I can go ahead and create my card. I am going to take my Lost Lagoon that I have here, and I'm going to make this card horizontal. And when I do, I'm going to put my leaves going this way, just like that. So again, I like it because I can trim the edge, and I know it's perfectly fine, perfectly the right size. I will take my glue. Down here. Y'all know another way that you can use this. I want to do this this way. The other thing that you can do when you use this is take your tear-in strip. So again, you just have to have a glue for it to stick to. If you take your tear-in tape, got a little glue too far down, I'm going to trim that off. If you take your tear-in tape and put a strip on your papers, then when you put your leafing guild on there, it'll stick to that. And that will also give you a really nice solid line. Let's put this on here. I just want to rub that good, but of course I don't want to be smearing it with my fingers, and I don't want it sticking to paper. So I'll take that off. So now that I have this, I am going to trim it. I'm going to use my guillotine trimmer. So just give me 1 second. Here we go. On there. And here I have my card that is using the Gilded Leafing. So I think this is a prettier look. I think it's very rustic. I'm gonna really like it. And if you have it, you might as well play with it. And then to decorate it, I'm going back to my leaves. I am thinking, let me see. That's not going to work because I have that down at the bottom. Let me see. See, this is where I spend all my time, y'all. I'm like, oh, what do I want to do here? I think I do want a gold because I wanted a little gold in there. So put the gold and maybe 2 of those. That kind of brings in all the colors. And when I cover up some of the gold leaf, it's not too much with the background. So I will put this on my card. You know, and you can do it if you want. Again, horizontal, or you could do it vertical. That seems to be the theme, y'all. I guess I'll do it this way. So here I will put that leaf on there. I think I will take this one down. And this one I will pop up. But don't think stenciling is just for your blending brushes. They're fantastic for that. You can get a spritzer. If you get one of our spritzers, you can put some alcohol in there with ink refills, and you can spritz through your stencil also. You could trace through your stencil. You can even dry emboss. I tried it on paper. I wasn't too pleased with that, but then I tried it on cardstock vellum and it worked really well. So get your stencils and get creating, because they really are a lot of fun. Now I went ahead and just tied a double bow. This was using our linen thread. I'll put this here. Just take a little glue dot. Now, since I'm coming on at a different time, if this is the first time you're watching my channel, please do me a favor and subscribe. I hope you like what you saw, but like my channel and subscribe. And again, I'm normally noontime Eastern time, but you never know. Just depends on how things are going that day. So again, I'm going to leave my words off, but here you have the pretty peacock and the Lost Lagoon. And then on this one, I went vertical. You actually have pecan pie and Cajun craze. And I went ahead, since this was up against the background, I sponged this leaf with a little bit of the Cajun craze. So once again, which one is your favorite? So Kathy said she has used it, but not for stamping. Kathy, we are going to have to talk, because I would like to know what you used it for. Kathy is multi-talented. She does a lot of different things, and oh my gosh, just sent me the most beautiful cup. I've seen people make it and I've seen them at craft shows, but I have not ventured that way. But thankfully I have friends who do. So these are your cards today. What did y'all think? I am so glad that we have done this video. I promised myself I was not cleaning this table or the things on it until I showed these 2 cards. Remember y'all, perseverance. But now that I've already eaten lunch since it's later in the day, and I have a lot to get ready for. Oh my goodness, we have a big world card making day coming up on October 7th that I have to cut 90-some projects for, so I'm going to keep working on that. And then I'm making display boards for it, so I get to continue my day creating. And I hope you do too. So Renee likes the Cajun. Deborah likes both again. Oh, thank you, thank you. So everybody likes them both. I think it's just whatever colors that you like, but I love these both. So I hope you enjoyed your techniques. If there is anything that you would like to order, you can go to my creatingwithcolleen.com. And this is a host code. If your order is less than $150, please use that. But I do have to tell you about a really cool special coming up on Tuesday, October 3rd. Stampin' Up! Is celebrating 35 years, and they are doing it in a big way. So what they are doing is, starting October 3rd through the 31st, they are offering their starter kit, which is just a great way to get new products on sale. So you can choose 35% off your starter kit. Normally it's $125 in product that you select, and you only pay $99. Well, now starting Tuesday, you can select, let me see, I got it right here. You can still select $125 in product, but instead of paying $99, you're only going to pay $64.35. That's 35% off the kit. Or you can choose the option of getting 35% more, with the starter kit. So you will pay the $99, but then you can select $168.75 free. Now the cool thing is there's no shipping and handling. You get a paper pumpkin kit, and they are also going to give you free registration to their virtual on-stage event that's going to be held on November 11th. That's like a $77 value. It's a 5.5-hour event. Everybody can watch it from the comfort of their own home, but you're going to see presentations using new products from the 2024 January through April mini catalog and celebration. You get the chance to order some of the new products before everybody else, and you can order products because they're going to do a craft along. So you can actually stamp with Stampin' Up! From your home. So if you have any questions at all on that, please let me know. And if you can't make it on November 11th, that's fine, because the videos will be available through the end of the year. So questions, let me know. I would love to have you buy the starter kit and be a part of my awesome team. Again, we're a bunch of happy stampers. We stamp virtually during the month. We have Facebook presentations, just a lot of fun. So you all enjoy the day, and I can honestly say, have a great weekend. We are almost there. Take care now, and thanks again for waiting for me. I will see you next Wednesday in October. Oh my goodness, October. At noontime Eastern Time. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.